From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 4th, 2021. Yamina party leader Naftali Bennett, who may very well be Israel's next prime minister, hosted members of his party at his home today to make sure that all would support the coalition he has formed with Yesh Atid party leader Yair Lapid. Bennett and Lapid will also be meeting Sunday evening with the heads of all 8 parties who formed the so-called changed government for the same purpose. The government, if all members of the 8 factions vote yes, has 61 votes, the majority needed to gain Knesset approval. But Bennett and Lapid want to make sure that no one changes their mind, like Yamina's Nir Orbach, who withdrew his signature at the last minute yesterday for a vote in the Knesset, and has said that he is still on the fence about supporting the new government. Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz concluded several meetings yesterday in Washington, including a strategic one for Israel's security, he tweeted, with U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin at the Pentagon. Gantz wrote, "I thanked him and the entire administration for standing by Israel in the face of regional challenges near and far." Gantz said he shared with Austin his goals for a long-term ceasefire with terror group Hamas that would include its return of the remains of the 2 IDF soldiers, Hadar Golden and Oren Shaul, whose bodies have been held in Gaza for over 7 years. The Department of Defense, in a readout of the meeting between the 2 defense chiefs, said that Secretary Austin reaffirmed the United States' ironclad commitment to Israel's defense and qualitative military edge. He emphasized the administration's support for building on the May 21st ceasefire to establish an enduring security for Israelis and Palestinians alike. He also highlighted the president's support for replenishing Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. The New York Police Department's Hate Crimes Task Force released photographs this week of 3 more individuals wanted in connection with the anti-Semitic assault that took place on May the 20th in New York City, where a Jewish man wearing a kippah was violently beaten by several pro-Palestinian and Palestinian demonstrators near Times Square. The Jewish Journal cites the Los Angeles Police Department yesterday, saying a suspect was arrested there for several recent incidents of vandalism targeting the Jewish community, including the targeting of Young Israel of Century City Synagogue and a kosher restaurant, Pat's, in the Pico Robertson area. The suspect threw a slab of cement at both locations overnight last Friday. The synagogue's windows are shatterproof and they were not damaged, but the restaurant was. LAPD continues to look into another recent incident targeting the Jewish community. 2 young Jewish boys who were shot at with a paintball gun last weekend. The Allgemeiner reported that the boys aged 11 and 13 who were wearing kippahs and other Jewish identifying garb were walking in the city's Hancock Park neighborhood after Shabbat services when someone shot a paintball gun from their vehicle, hitting the younger boy in the chest before fleeing the scene, lightly injuring him. And vandalism was reported at Harvard University this week. The Allgemeiner cited the school's Hillel director, Rabbi Jonah Steinberg, who said Harvard police were investigating the incidents, which included a broken window and a Palestinian flag tied to the entrance to the building that houses Hillel. Harvard President Larry Bacow strongly condemned the incidents, writing, "It is our collective responsibility to speak out and condemn such acts of hatred and bigotry." Meanwhile, a law professor at the University of Minnesota resigned from its Center for Jewish Studies over what he says is his institution's failure to condemn and take action on anti-Semitism there. Professor Oren wrote on Facebook on Tuesday that he will not remain affiliated with CJS, which has turned, he said, into an echo chamber of silence, and in which those such as myself, who are unapologetic Zionists, feel increasingly isolated. Well, a man who put his own life at risk to help others in a violent attack last month in Los Angeles is receiving some help from the community. As we reported to you on the night of May the 19th, a group of pro-Palestinians attacked a group of Jewish diners at the Fumi Sushi restaurant in Los Angeles after asking them who among them was Jewish. The Jewish Journal reports that the non-Jewish man who was dining with the Jewish group is an Armenian Lebanese Christian. He jumped in to help his friends and was among the injured and had to be hospitalized. A friend of one of the Jewish victims started a GoFundMe for him that raised over $36,000 and hopes to help cover the medical bills for all those who were injured in the attack. The LAPD, by the way, has made 2 arrests in that case. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, June the 4th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's the film Leah and Daria, the true story of 2 young dancers in pre-war Croatia whose lives are turned upside down with the invasion of Nazi Germany. At 10:30, a replay of the Hampton Synagogue services, followed by a replay from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 4th, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.